Welcome back. Today we're talking about what's hot alive. Yesterday was Mother's Day, and I actually had a Mother's Day weekend because the show surprised me. One of the panelists, the surprise panelist, was my son Gabe, who had come out from Spokane, Washington. Yeah, I'm amazed that they let him come over, but he did, and I was thrilled about that. And then, I know, it was so sweet. I thought for a second he'd lost his job, you know, because like, why are they letting him do this? And then Friday night, my son Ben was already in New York, but then Friday night we're having dinner as a family, and I get this tap on my shoulder, and it's my daughter Lily, who flown in from Chicago. And I didn't even recognize her. It took me a minute. It's like, Mom, like you're so shocked, you know? So how did you guys, oh no.
Mine sucked.
Really?
It was so bad. So my husband is an orthopedic surgeon, so he's a sports fanatic. He likes to do CrossFit workout at 9 a.m. So he decided he was going to go to CrossFit at 9 a.m. So he had to wake everybody else up in the house at about 7:30 a.m. to give me a very uninspired breakfast.
What was it?
It was a half of a banana chopped up with a scoop of almond butter.
Oh, very healthy.
And then he took the kids to his mother's house, and he came home with them about 9 p.m.
That part I like.
Yeah.
That part is...
But the thing is, I didn't get a presentation of gifts. I didn't get a tiara. I got nothing. And I think that the only upside, quite frankly, is that he's so in the doghouse, whatever he has to do to get out of the doghouse is going to be so epic that I'm going to get something amazing.
All right.
Right?
I got something about you. Yeah, you've got little ones, right? How old are you?
I have little itty-bitty babies. I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and my husband knew the one thing I wanted to do was sleep. So he literally took the door handle off the door so they could not, see, it's right there, so they could not come in the room. I just wanted one, they wake up at 5:30. I just wanted to sleep till 6:30.
Yeah.
So and my 4-year-old finally figured out, opened the door, screamed Happy Mother's Day. She brought me a cactus, which is another thing. I don't know why I got a cactus. That's a whole other can of worms. And it was lovely. And then later that day, I got my wallet stolen. So that was Mother's Day roundup. And they shopped at Lululemon. So Lululemon, $4,500 at Lululemon. Someone had a nice Mother's Day.
Wow.
It was awesome.
Hopefully they're working out.
I hope they work out so hard.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on. As a mom, I was actually shocked to read the results of a new study that says millennials, all my kids fit into that group, might be having less sex than their parents. Average, what? Said something? Average number of partners for baby boomers is 11.68. Average for millennials is 8.26. How do you? 49% of them say they have not had sex at all in the past year, which I find really interesting. Yeah.
You know why? Because they're spending so much time taking selfies on social media.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
Or we're working, we're trying to get ahead in life, we're trying to make better for ourselves. We don't have time to worry about that.
But there's another study that says all the millennials are living at home, so where are they working at?
I know. Hey, listen, I don't know, as long as they're working, right?
But what's the 0.6, the 11.6?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, that's very
Exactly.
scientific.
I think part of it is that with social media, quite frankly, and with the internet, they have a lot more information than others had, and so they know the perils of stuff possibly falling off, with, you know.
Well, they've also seen risky behavior in their
seen
parents.
that kind of behavior, and I think it helps your generation make more informed decisions.
And what type of sex are they talking? Are they talking 2-on-2 sex, by yourself sex? There's different levels to the...
Come
on! By yourself sex is the safest form of sex out there.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's what they're talking
I
about.
don't have to talk to you. I don't have to talk to you afterwards. I don't have to fix you breakfast. I don't have to buy you a Louis Vuitton purse like her husband's got to buy her for that horrible Mother's Day.
That's true.
None of that has to happen when you're by yourself.
Okay, I'm going to think about that as we go to break. Up next, we'll see what's hot live with our panel. Stay with us. Back talking about what's hot live. There has been a lot of talk about racism in the news lately, but now a new program at the University of Colorado is fighting racism with racism. University is posting 500 flyers across the campus attacking people based on race, religion, and sexual identity. And the idea is to make people feel uncomfortable so they'll think about the power of these words to hurt. Here's an example of one of the signs that's been put up. There's an Arab guy in one of my classes. I sit as far away from him as possible just in case he blows himself up. Another one, your mom must be the janitor because that's the only job for dirty Mexicans. And another sign that's been put up, go back to Africa, you don't belong here. Again, the idea is to spark conversation, but John, what do you think of it?
You know, I understand that this is like probably the modern age Archie Bunker, George Jefferson approach to dealing with race relations, but unless you're doing it in the confines of a class or something, and there's a dialogue or a teaching lesson that comes with the visualizations of those signs, you're kind of offending people, getting them worked up, and leaving it open-ended. So I'd like to know the bigger scheme of this school's plan and how they're trying to execute this campaign. It's almost like an even worse version of that Starbucks race relations thing on the cup, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I cover race-related issues a lot at CNN, and I also comment a lot about it. And I love this because I've never interviewed a racist who has admitted to being a racist. And so the issue really is about conversation and about people confronting their views. And so if you are confronted with that view and you know that you share that view, I think that that can be very, very powerful. So I applaud the university for trying to reach younger people because, you know, it's always shocking to me that young people.
But if you share the view, what are you learning by seeing the poster up there?
Well, I think it's about self-identity, right? Because if you see one of your views in that poster, maybe it gives you some pause to think, my gosh, I move away from the Arab person too. What does that say about me?
But I have to agree with John, because if there's no follow-up dialogue, if there's no contextualization of where to put it or someone to talk in a group, if you're just seeing it, there's no place, no platform to discuss it.
Right.
So where are you discussing? You're really going to sit on, you know, in the cafeteria in Boulder and talk about it?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I think in a classroom setting, I think it needs to go somewhere. The dialogue needs to end up somewhere. And I don't know if it will necessarily.
Ian, I don't know if this is the way to do it, but I applaud any university that takes on racism and says we have to discuss it.
Right.
It's important that we not ignore this. All right, if you've ever wondered how couples spend their wedding night, we have an idea. According to a new Facebook poll conducted by Bride Magazine, 71% of brides admit to spending the night removing bobby pins. 20% of couples spent the night counting their cash naked. Some ended up in the ER. 21% were updating their Facebook relationship status. Not a lot of them were having sex, interestingly enough. Jordan, what is your take?
Look, I'm not married, but I hope I don't do any of those things. I hoop I'm having more fun than that. But my brother just got married in December, and the lead up to everything was so frenzied and so crazy, and the night was so much fun. We had a blast, but I can't imagine them being awake after they left. Like, they were just walking to the limo like, oh my gosh, I'm glad it's over. So I'm sure a couple days later they had fun.
It took me a full week to recover.
Did you have sex on your wedding night?
No, Meredith.
No, really?
No, sorry, honey. I love you. Spilling the beans. No, I slept so hard, and then I think I slept on my honeymoon. I think I woke up when I finally got back to the city after the wedding. I was so tired. I think I still had bobby pins in my hair for 3 weeks. There's like 500 in there.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Gosh, I guess I'm outing my husband. He's not getting any for a while after the whole Mother's Day thing. But, yes,
All right.
indeed.
All right, I had sex, but that's neither here nor there. You mentioned people having headaches. Well, Jordan actually suffers from migraines, so you have partnered with Excedrin to bring awareness to the condition. I fortunately never had it. I have friends who have it. It's debilitating. It really is.
My mom, growing up with her, she used to have them, and you know, you have 2 young kids, and you have kids, and it's just like, my mom will get migraines, and for a kid, it's really scary because you look at your mom and you're just like, she can't do anything. She has to be in a dark room. You don't know what's happening, and it actually got passed down to me. I get them. After I won Idol, my life got really stressful. And it's just one of those things where it happens and you don't want it to be able to knock you out. You don't want it to knock you down. You want to be able to continue doing what you're doing. So to partner with Excedrin has been amazing because it just made sense. It was the only thing my mom reached for. So when I started having them, it was what I reached for, and it's definitely helped.
Wow. So it's helped. Well, that's the good news. Absolutely. Thank you, Jordan, so much. Thanks to all of our panelists. We will be right back.